Try Me. Mystery Stories by John Townsend. Something's out there. The eyes were watching. They stared through a flurry of swirling snow that swept across the darkening hills. They blinked into the icy wind from the ever-deepening shadows as a figure moved across the field. The eyes narrowed. Bronze eyes with pinprick cores of piercing black. Savage, hungry eyes that reflected the rising moon. Mira was halfway across the field when she first sensed something was behind her, watching. She turned to squint through dancing snowflakes towards the frosted hedgerow. Maybe one of the farm dogs was still out and snuffling in the ditch? For there, behind a line of trees, something moved. Something big. With her hands to her eyes, Mira tried to peer through the trees silhouetted against a pale, watery sunset. It was hard to make out the moving shadow, but she knew something was there. Something alive and staring, and she knew it had seen her. The first wave of fear rose inside of her. Was it safe to walk on across the bare ploughed field, or should she turn back to the main road? But that would mean retracing her steps and passing closer to what sounded like a menacing growl. She pulled her scarf around her ears, just as a branch cracked like a rifle shot. From the trees behind her, screeching rooks rose like a swarm of disturbed flies. She daren't turn back. Get a grip, she told herself. If I cross this field, I'll soon reach the track. It's only a mile, then to home, where Ryan will be milking the cows. He'll get Dad's shotgun and scare it off. She looked ahead, but the fence and telegraph poles marking the distant safety of the road were still out of sight beyond the brow of the hill. She strode on without looking back. Maybe the rumours were true after all. Since she'd been helping at the farm shop some evenings after school, Mira had always smiled at the daft stories from some of the staff. Just silly talk, she thought. The local big joke about the mystery beast. It seemed like another one of those rural myths, and nothing more than country gossip. Ryan said he'd seen it twice, each time from the tractor after dark. Two fierce amber eyes had stared at him before vanishing into the night. So he said. Mira accused him of living in a fantasy world, like in his computer games. You just want to play the hero, she told him, before adding with a grin. You know you're my hero, big brother, so you don't have to pretend to be Superman in a tractor. Their cousin said he'd heard a chilling howl when he got off the school bus at dusk, just before Christmas. It came from the old quarry, and ever since he had spoken of a werewolf stalking the woods. Then, on Christmas Eve, a woman at the local store had said she'd seen a large black shape leaping a hedge in the early morning mist. It was there they found footprints in the snow. Huge prints, and the headless body of a fox. Prints that conveniently disappeared with the melting snow before anyone thought to take a photo. Mira assumed it was all just a hoax. The young farm workers staying in the caravans nearby were always playing pranks, like making crop circles in summer to scare everyone into thinking that there were alien spaceships landing. But now, she wasn't so sure. Mira reached for her phone. It was a long, lonely walk ahead in the twilight. The path twisted over the brow of the hill and down past the crumbling ruin of the Gatley farm. Behind her, another growl rose from the shadows. She was now sure a large animal was somewhere among the trees, and she was more than afraid.